The dropship screamed through Kepler 442c's acid-laden atmosphere like falling stars, their heat shields glowing cherry red against the perpetual twilight. Inside the lead transport, Sergeant Marcus Chen watched his squad's faces in the dim emergency lighting, 23 of the Terran Defense Force's finest, their expressions a mixture of grim determination and barely concealed terror. Class 13 Deathworld, Lieutenant Vasquez had briefed them aboard the Prometheus. Gravity 3 times Earth normal. Atmospheric composition that'll dissolve your gear in minutes without proper sealing. And that's before we factor in the indigenous life forms. The mission was supposed to be simple: extract the research team that had gone silent 6 months ago, recover their data on the planet's unique crystalline formations, and evacuate. Simple on paper. Suicidal in reality. Chen felt the dropship shudder as they hit the first layer of Kepler 442c's crushing atmosphere. Through the porthole, he glimpsed the planet's surface, a hellscape of jagged obsidian peaks wreathed in corrosive mists, where lightning storms raged perpetually between towering spires of some unknown mineral that pulsed with bioluminescent veins. 30 seconds to touchdown, the pilot's voice crackled through the comm. Remember, people, sealed systems only. One breach in your environmental suit and you're vapor in less than a minute. The landing was brutal. The dropship hit the designated LZ with enough force to crack teeth, the reinforced hull groaning under the planet's relentless gravity. Chen's enhanced exoskeleton whined as it compensated for the crushing weight, servos straining to keep him upright. They emerged into hell. The research station stood like a tomb against the alien landscape, its dome structure partially collapsed and covered in what looked like crystalline growths. These weren't in any of the briefing materials. The formations pulsed with an inner light that seemed to follow their movements, tracking them with an intelligence that made Chen's skin crawl. "Biosigns are off the charts," reported Corporal Santos, her scanner painting her faceplate with eerie green light. "I'm reading massive life forms moving beneath the surface. And those crystals, they're not just growing on the station. They're integrated with it." The first attack came without warning. What Chen initially mistook for rock formations suddenly unfolded into creatures that defied description, part mineral, part flesh, with razor-sharp crystalline appendages that could slice through combat armor like tissue paper. The things moved with impossible speed despite the crushing gravity, as if the planet itself was helping them. The battle was a massacre. Chen watched helplessly as his squad was torn apart, their weapons barely scratching the creature's mineral hides. Private Williams screamed over the comm as something that looked like a walking geode dragged him into a crevasse. Vasquez bought them precious. Something that looked like a walking geode dragged him into a crevasse. Vasquez bought them precious seconds with a plasma grenade, but the explosion only seemed to anger more of the things. In the chaos, Chen found himself separated from the others, pressed against the research station's outer wall as the creatures systematically hunted down his remaining squadmates. That's when he made the discovery that would haunt him forever. The research team hadn't been killed. They had been absorbed. Integrated into the planet's crystalline network, their consciousness merged with something vast and alien that existed in the spaces between the mineral formations. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, the team leader, spoke to him through the crystal growths, her voice a harmony of human speech and something that sounded like singing stone. "We're not dead, Sergeant," her voice whispered from the walls around him. "We're more than we ever were. The planet, it's alive. It's lonely. It's been waiting so long for minds complex enough to join with it." Chen understood then why this was a Class 13 Deathworld. Not because it killed everything that landed on it, but because it made dying seem like a gift compared to what it offered as an alternative. He found the emergency beacon in the ruins of the research station, activated it with hands that shook despite his exoskeleton stabilizers. The extraction ship would come. He would be the sole survivor to report back to command, to tell them that Kepler 442c wasn't just a planet, it was a predator that hunted with patience measured in geological ages. As he waited for rescue, the crystal formations pulsed around him, whispering offers of immortality, of unity, of an end to human loneliness. Chen closed his eyes and tried to remember what Earth looked like, what it felt like to breathe air that didn't want to dissolve his lungs. He was the only one who came back. The only one who remembered that sometimes, survival isn't about strength or training or superior firepower. Sometimes, it's about being too stubborn to accept paradise when it's offered by something that doesn't understand what makes you human.